Well, it's a beautiful morning here in Killdeer, North Dakota. It's our fall trappers get together, fur takers, and so far we got quite a few showed up. We got a few vendors, nothing like in South Dakota, of course, but they'll start rolling in now. This is our big day, and so we'll have a few trapping demonstrations and so on, and I guess that's all I got to say for now. Support your trappers clubs if you have one, and it's a good deal and you're going to learn a lot. Okay, here we are. The corn is not fantastic. We had too many cobs left from last year, so it's awfully thick. And we're going to show you some that where we planted soybeans in the corn too. And but this was too wet, so we're going to put it into rye now. It's getting a little bit late, but I had a flat tire in the tractor and it didn't get fixed right away, and I had a hard time finding a tire for the tractor, so I wasn't going to buy a new one. So anyway, we're going to seed this into some different things. We might tell you what it was later, but mostly it's going to be rye, and for the deer this winter. And then we're going to show you another spot where the corn and the soybeans are looking really good for the deer. And whatever the deer drop on the ground, it seems like the pheasants pick up. Driving in here today, I had to slow down for a bunch of little pheasants. Well, they're over 3/4 growing, but anyway, so we really got covering here this year, and so we got a good spot for the deer to winter and the turkeys and the pheasants. So okay, we'll have a little more later. Work in the seed. This will be a healthy food plot. Kind of hard to keep it everything weed free with around these trees and stuff. But this year I planted a lot of beans amongst the corn, and if you don't get a lot of rain, if you don't have wide rows, it's probably not the right thing to do. But it's you can see that we got a really good catch this year on the beans in the corn, and I do this for the wildlife, and it's tough wintering here, and we're back to the old house again, but this is one of our favorite food plots. And but anyway, it also, when the deer herd up, here comes all the coyotes, so I can work on them when they're here working on the deer. So it's just something I've done for 20 years. Now out there in that food plot we planted, I don't know, I bought one bag of whatever to mix with the rye, and it had annual ryegrass and turnips and radishes, which I can't find a deer that'll eat them here. But anyway, and some other things in there, some clover. But I like planting clover, but because of weeds, I have to break it up every year, spray it out, and it just doesn't work to plant clover, because you got to kill it out the next spring. So, but anyway, this is kind of the way it looks like around here. Beans and corn. I asked the biologist, how come we got 13 hen turkeys, and only 4 little ones? She thought it might have been a cold, wet June. I don't know. It's we aren't going to get many more turkeys at 4 at a time, so maybe next year. So, signing off for now. Well, we're back at the food plot. 2 weeks, I think, about that since we planted it. We're so dry. We had one rain, but evidently it wasn't enough to do much. So, anyway, hard as a rock. I don't know how it got so hard. It's really dry. So that's what happens if you plant this late in the year. We didn't get this in on time because I had a flat tire in a tractor and couldn't find a tire like that. So anyway, it's might not show up on camera, but it's starting to green up a little bit. It's supposed to be in the 80s next week, but we need rain. If anybody needs a couple hundred 1.5s, I got them for sale cheap. And I probably got 75 coyote traps I'm not going to use. I don't use that many anymore since I turned 80. But anyway, we're gonna see what happens here. I do deer hunt, so I'm not going to be going full bore during deer season. I might start bow hunting tonight, I'm not sure. The one I was after lost his velvet and left, but I don't think he went very far. They always seem to move once they lose their velvet. And had a little more moisture down at this end. It's a little greener down here. Still a lot of deer tracks. They're probably clipping her off as she comes up. Yeah, it's hard. But anyway, we're gonna put a few deer cameras in here. There's one buck. I just want to get some more pictures of him. I only seen him once ever that I know of, and he's back again. So We got lots of cover this year. I don't know if I've ever seen the grass this tall. Got the rain at the right time. So anyway, I'm signing off for right now, and see you next time. Well, I thought I was done, seeing I signed off, but we're just going to show you here. We got a nice little runway here, and we're going to put a camera here and see who's using it. As long as the wind doesn't blow and we get all these corn leaves wiggling, we're all right. I run 31 deer cameras, but this year I don't have them all out. My son's got me all fired up over this YouTube trapping thing, and I guess we're going to trap more coyotes and maybe not go after Boone and Crockett bucks. Okay. Some guys use a hay set a lot of times for trapping coyotes, and I use it sometimes myself. And so we're going to show you, a lot of guys use hay. Well, I'm going to show you the best way to find your hay for hay sets. You go to a ditch that's been mowed. The farmers mow their ditches instead of getting a bale, because then you got tall hay in a bale, but the stuff that's been all chopped up with a gyro mower in a ditch, that's the way I have always done it, and it seems to work really good. And we're just going to show you here how this works. They're burying an underground cable in the ditch here. I mowed this ditch, and so have all the neighbors, but it chops it up pretty fine, and it works good. Now I've already collected everything I need for this year, I believe, but somebody threw this grocery basket out in the ditch. But anyway, this here, most ditches are better than this, the grass. This here is a little bit longer because my blades are dull, but and it's dry. It's really dry. Keeps good, and it's fine. It's not long and tall, and if you look, you can find stuff that's even shorter out here. But this is how I get my hay for hay sets for trapping coyotes. And I collected some straw too behind the combines. I kind of like straw, but it blows around easier than this chopped up grass does. But now here's some nice fine stuff here, and it's been laying in the sun. It's dry, and but I've got probably 15 5-gallon pails of it, and we'll be using some. But it's just a way to let you know if we're gonna be doing some of these hay sets for coyotes in about a month. We start trapping coyotes here, or start kind of slow, but about the 15th of October, and they're starting to get prime. And I think the best coyote I got last year was on the 20th of October, and he was just unbelievably nice. So anyway, that's it for now. We'll probably show you how to collect some straw too if we can find a good spot. The fields haven't all been worked, but anyway, that's it for now. We're gathering. Just this video is just a little of this, a little of that, and just going to show you some of my trap coverings. I got probably more than this in the other granary, but every year I save a bunch of dry dirt in case I'm going to need it, and then I leave it in the granary for a year. This is extremely dry. And then we got some grass if you want to make hay sets. And then we got straw, which works really nice, but it tends to blow away easier. And so I don't know, today I might go out and get another barrel of grass out of the ditch, because that's been all chopped up and it's nice and fine and just right for working. So that's a pile of snares that from a few years ago, that every one of those caught a fox or a coyote that winter. But I don't think we're going to get that much this year, but it depends on the weather. So, okay, well, anyway, I bought a few beaver traps to replace the ones that I lost this year. And I had never had any Duke 550s, so I bought a few of those. And I can't stand rusty traps, so I put a thin coat of rust on them. And now I'm going to dye them here today, because I'm going to start trapping in about 25 days. Start trapping coyotes, and I got a couple of beaver families to take out too, I understand. So anyway, I'm just loading up some traps here that I just someday I'm going to advertise them, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, I got a thin coat of rust on them, and in the shed here I just put my logwood crystals in here and boiling it. It's really windy outside, so I thought I'd do it inside. Getting pretty hot, but I like to have it boiling kind of. So anyway, seems like the longer it cooks, the better it works. But I had these in a pail of water for about 4 days, I guess, and I washed them off with Dawn soap and hot water. But we'll see here, see how it works out. I got my got a little hook here that I've used for years to pull them out, and if I was going to boil a lot of them, I'd have a 30-gallon barrel. I got my beaver traps ready to go here, or not my beaver, my coyote traps, and I got another barrel full of them in case I need more. But everything's ready to go, but the crops aren't off yet, so it's going to be kind of tough. I don't think I've ever seen the weeds and the grass as tall as it is this year. But we're going to give it a try and take a few coyotes. Start out slow, take a few. I don't know if the guy's even going to pay for his gas with them. Buyers want skunks and some big raccoons and weasels, but they don't seem to want coyotes. Well, I got to thin the coyotes out to save the deer, so. Well, that one turned out nice and black. So, I guess it's hot enough. Well, anyway, I'm not good at running this camera and monkeying with this stuff, so signing off for right now. I'm gonna do a little scouting this afternoon. Maybe we'll find something to take a picture of. So, well, I'm back. We planted this food plot a while ago. I think it was on this video, and it's been so dry I didn't know if it was going to come up. But it's coming up some. The rye came up. There's a few radishes and turnips. Of course, the deer don't seem to want to eat those anyway, but they were in there, so. I wanted the annual ryegrass to come, but that needs rain, I guess. So it is what it is. We need rain bad. But this food plot attracts deer. They got to have something to eat in the winter, and then the deer attract the coyotes. So anyway, and it's up to me to send out the coyotes. Anyway, so that was just a little look at that food plot that we planted earlier. It's not doing real good, but it's not froze up yet, so it could do some growing. I wish we get some rain. Maybe next Tuesday, they say. So, all right, off for now. Well, I'm back. This is going to be the end of this video. The next one will be in about the 15th of October. We'll start hitting the coyotes. I was just checking on these beaver down here. I took 9 of them out of there, some through the ice, and I finished up on them in the spring. But I see the coons have been in here. Coons have been in here wrecking the corn. And I tell you, last winter it was pretty nice, and it was only 2 sets of coon tracks, and they were both little guys, so I didn't even bother with them. But evidently there's more than two little guys in here, because all the way along here they're pulling the corn down and eating it. So up here there, years ago they dumped slabs of concrete in to stop because it was washing out so deep. And those coons they live under those slabs of concrete. They winter under them. So, I don't know. I hate to start taking coons right away, but I might have to take a few and see how prime they are. I like to wait till almost the 1st of November for the really big ones. Let them put on a little more weight, a little more fur. But we'll see. But anyway, that's it for now, and next time we'll be setting coyote sets about the 15th of October. That's it for now. So long.